All right, so we're doing some quick ion readings. We're doing a test today. This is an iPad, obviously, it's on, and it's right next to a Himalayan salt lamp. And so we're really just going to kind of see what happens. And we've seen it pretty consistently and positive, not really doing much, right? Okay, so I would say it's pretty steady at between like 7 and, it goes to the negative a little bit when I go near the iPad. That's probably because we have an iPad protector on there. Let's see if that happens again when we do that. Yeah, it's probably this protector we have on the back there. Yep. Anyway, so we're going to just compare these readings that are pretty steady, I would say, with the orders we have to pack today. There, it did it again. Went to the negative real quick. And then we'll just kind of observe what happens. We don't see much in the negative around the salt lamp. So to be honest, I'm not really that impressed with the salt lamp and these readings. In the few tests I've done, I went to the negative again when we went over there. So, okay, so that's enough. Let's bring this iPad over near the devices. Brought the reader over near a charging plate. And let's just see what we see here. So, definitely see it fluctuating a lot more, right? So, that's pretty typical of Orgone devices is they cause a lot of fluctuations in the reader, and it makes sense because if you think about what the device is actually doing, it's actually kind of like a etheric filter is what I call it. It's pulling in energy, scrubbing it, transmuting it, converting it, and distributing it out. So that process will probably create these fluctuations, which we observe. Obviously, a lot stronger than the salt lamp, which is notorious for producing negative ions, right? So, in this way, I think you're far better off going with an Orgone device for your negative ions and for your EMF protection. And again, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I just do these tests to kind of show the differences in the fluctuations compared to things that are supposed to be emitting negative ions. But the real weight is in the water plant human testimonials, water plant tests, and the human testimonials. And cats for some reason really love these devices, and bees. Cats and bees are pretty cool. So yeah, again, we can see the differences, and these charging plates, they're pretty cool. As far as their ability to structure and program water and liquids, the water freezer tests are just like mind-boggling. This energy that forms, and then when I pour that into a cup to drink it, it's like, oh, this tastes so good. So I really want to share that with people, that you don't have to drink anything that doesn't taste good and is maybe tainted. We have technologies to structure and purify water and charge it up, so your cells can be charged up. We're 70% water. So so I think you're well off going with one of these devices for protecting you from this EMF radiation from these wireless electronics. Charging plates are one of my favorites. I don't know if you could tell. So now again, I'll just kind of run through the processes. Is you have the accumulator field on the bottom that is loaded with atomized metals and minerals and gemstones and crystals, all the powders, and they mimic Wilhelm Reich's Orgone accumulator, which accumulated the surrounding ether. And so we're accumulating. We knew he could do that based on the fact that his ORAC, his Orgone accumulator box, was really helping his cancer patients, and they were experiencing these emotional breakthroughs, and he had a sensitive millivolt reader that he was able to use to detect their spikes in Orgone energy when they would have these emotional breakthroughs, and they were just overall a lot. They experienced a lot more vitality when they were in his Orgone accumulator box, which is kind of similar to my sound box that some crystals are in there charging to right now. But so we know that you can accumulate the surrounding ether by layering organic to inorganic 1-to-1, and so that's what we're doing down here in this field. And the rest is we're routing energy with copper. We're also protecting the crystals, kind of Faraday caging them so they can work, so they're not affected by the EMF. And then when we add all these amazing protective stones that come from the earth, like shungite and tourmaline and all these other ones, they just really enhance the device. And then when you add a 15 hertz pulse, the Radionics pulse over there, we're enhancing it even more. So charging plate on its own without the pulse is going to be powerful. But if you want to get an extra kick, go with the pulse. 15 hertz. A little more expensive, but I think it's worth it, to be honest. I'm always honest, but just thought I would add that. But on its own, without the pulse, definitely recommend it too. So anyways, I hope this has been beneficial for you, just to try to do these little things once in a while, because I know people need stuff like this. There's it's crazy. Like every topic that is out there in the world right now that's like in the truth community, there's disinformation and propaganda from the other side, and saying that this side is it's just like, it's crazy. And like every topic I talk about, there's that. And so I know that people really need kind of stuff that can observe and visualize, and that helps make them make more informed decisions on the technologies they're going to use to protect themselves. That's what it's all about, man. Just protecting ourselves and being informed. And so I try to be transparent, and I'll be doing more water freezer tests tomorrow. I'm going to do a Dream Machine water freezer test. I don't think I've done one of those before. I've done like mini Dream Machines and charging plates and stuff. So this will be good to see what a Dream Machine does in the freezer, frozen, for like 6-7 hours. So it should be pretty interesting. So I like those tests the best, to be perfectly honest. They're just, I don't know, kind of obsessed with water. I just think water is like this divine, mystical, elixir, if you will. Anyway, so I'm rambling now. Thanks for sticking with me here and taking a look at these readings. And again, I think it's just more observations that that the reader fluctuates a lot more around Orgone devices when in the presence of stuff you need to protect yourself from, EMF emitting radiation devices, wireless electronics. You're going to see a lot more energy occurring when you have an Orgone device rather than like a salt lamp or just a piece of copper, something like that. Because we've done water tests just using copper and then compared them to these Orgone devices, and the devices show a lot more energetic presence. So it's, again, more energetic presence in the reader, the ion reader, right? More energy is being generated. And in the water tests, you can visually see the energy, So in my plant growth, whoa, cactus just sprouting up. Unbelievable dreams, just like, whoa, it's so real. Way more like real than even like waking life, in the Matrix. Just fantastic, So I really want people to experience that. And it's nice to read those testimonials of people experiencing really deep sleep. Because we do have a hashtag electromagnetic war on humanity. And I noticed that years ago, that especially when I heard Don Croft say that we don't need the cell towers. They're a military technology. You could, if you really wanted to get something that would, bounce signals and stuff and give you perception, all you would need is a solar panel, like the size of an iPad. Now, whether he was right or not, I'm not sure. I have no way of proving that, but I know that these military installations and cell towers and stuff, 5G, 4G, it's just way too much. We don't need it. We're going to have to go back to the basics, which is getting like flip phones and getting wired fiber optic broadband for our homes. That's what we're going to have to do. In the meantime, whether you do that or not, I think it's going to be most beneficial to have these devices around, So I think I'm going to sign off. I got to do some packing.